Hey guys, welcome back to Latasha Hewitt Home. So I'm so excited because we're finally on our way to our family vacation. We are headed to a very special spot, which I'll share with you later. Right now we're stopping for gas, and then we're going to be on the road to the airport. So just inviting you along on this journey. Hope it's going to be a great one. All right, guys, so we made our way to economy parking. We decided to use Smart Park, and I think we've used them in a long time. Usually I just do the economy parking at the airport, but I think they were like $13.95 and the airport was like $15. But it was cool. We got into the little van and we were getting comfortable, preparing to make it to the airport. It wasn't a long drive, but we were excited to get our trip going. Made it to the airport. Got dropped off and went to Frontier. We flew Frontier for the first time, and I learned my lesson because shortly after we got there, we decided to weigh our luggage and found that it was overweight. So we took the time to kind of reposition some things, and we made out all right. Taking forever to put her shoes on. She's finally ready. Airport vibes. We're here. So since we had gotten into the airport in plenty of time, you know, they recommend 3 hours ahead of time for international flights. Of course, our bellies were rumbling a little bit, and we decided we wanted to get a little something for breakfast. And Dunkin' Donuts hit the spot with the egg and cheese croissant. So the girlies and I decided we wanted to take a little time to admire our nails. Before we knew it, it was time to board the flight. And we got into our seats. The way it was situated, 2 of us were sitting together and the other 2 were sitting in another aisle, but it worked out okay. All right, before we knew it, the flight was probably a little over 3 hours, and we were landing in Montego Bay. We were finally here in Jamaica, and I can tell you right now, we were so excited to just get off that plane and be where we've been looking forward to being for a long time. So as we got off the plane, we had to go through immigration, of course, and you know, I'm just all excited, documenting, having a good old time, and you know, just wanting to capture that welcome to Montego Bay. And very shortly after that, one of the guards politely told me that I needed to turn that off because cameras were not allowed in that area. Oops, my bad. And then we were able to regain our luggage, which was already there by the time we got down to baggage claim, kind of already off the belt. So everybody grabbed their suitcase, and we actually made our way to the car rental place. Even though we had arranged for a shuttle, we knew we were going to take a special trip the next day, and my husband wanted to pick up the keys and get everything situated. And so this is a little bit of the area of the airport, right where you kind of figure out where you're going to go, your transportation. And the shuttle area was right outside, and I ran into the person that was supposed to be taking us to our hotel. So we kind of just waited till we knew where to go, made our way to the car. I thought we were going to be there with like other people, but we actually had the van to ourselves, which was really nice, to kind of just be the family vacation, just us together. So Caribbean World was the name. They were really great service. So highly recommend them if you're looking for a travel company to take you around while you're in Jamaica. So here we were getting settled while the men packed the luggage into the back, and then we were on our way with our driver. Yeah, our driver was really nice, and he tried to share with us a lot of the updates about what's happening in Jamaica, some of the things that have changed. So it was kind of cool to get that background as we made our way to the hotel.
In construction because they are building a children's hospital up by Cornwall. Oh. supermarket, wholesale, you know.
We were kind of just taking in, you know, the scenery and the environment, Montego Bay and the Strip. It was pretty busy. We pulled up to the resort, and this is a resort that has two parts. So there's the Zilara part, which you saw to the left, and there's the Ziva. Ziva is for families, and the Zilara part is for adults. One thing I loved about this place is it was very secure. You had to give a lot of information before they let you through the gate, verify a lot of stuff. But just the driving in, as I shared in a previous video, it was just so beautiful. I already knew that we were going to love this experience just because it was a really beautiful environment. All right, we were so anxious to make our way into the hotel. Andre walked right up to the counter and gave her name, and we were their fruit punch was funny because I was asking the girls what they thought about it. And you drinking fruit punch? You like it? So in the quick tour video, I shared with you guys how we were assigned butlers, and Peter Gay was our first butler, who greeted us the day we arrived, and she gave us like the lay of the land and set up like WhatsApp and how we would communicate with her, and she was just very helpful. And I just had no idea with the butler service we were going to actually have 3 butlers, but it worked out really well. And she was gracious to kind of explain to us all the amenities in the room, which was great. And in the shorter version of our room tour, it just became home away from home for us for the 6 days and 5 nights that we were there. You know, even now I can feel the room and remember exactly what it felt like and how cool it was, and just the wonderful view from the patio, from the deck. It was just awesome.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty.
You guys like it?
Yeah. I like that nice big flag. That's gorgeous.
We got a little hungry and we decided to kind of check out one of the local places where you can get like some quick food, and we helped ourselves to some fries and some rice and peas and some festival. And then we had a little friend visiting us, welcoming us to Jamaica. So my husband, who is the only non-vegetarian in our family, was having his fill of the jerk chicken from the jerk hut. So we were anxious to see if it was really authentic, and he seemed to be enjoying it. Later on that evening, we went out to dinner. One of the things the butlers did was to make our reservations for us. So really all we had to do was show up. And our first night was at an Italian restaurant. And the food was pretty good. It wasn't Olive Garden style, but not that I expected it to be. And then they also had this cool like ice cream shop where you can get sweets. So we went there after there, and of course I had to get my ice cream. Later that night was the entertainment, and it was this great dance group. We did a lot of like African style dance. I mean, the show was pretty long. Like, we were impressed with their stamina, but nevertheless, great program. And then the next day, this was one of the big days for us. We were really excited about what the day was going to hold. So we got up early so that we can have breakfast and get started. And this was the place that we went for breakfast every morning. It was called Choices with the Z. Yes, Choices. And it was a great smorgasbord. I mean, every morning I had like an omelet, fresh omelet, and I always got the hash browns and the fruit, and loved it. But then it was time for some more exciting things. Hey guys, day 2 in Jamaica, and we're really excited about today because we are traveling by car to Mandeville, which is my husband's home. Really excited to be able to show the kids where he grew up and what it was like for him as a child in Jamaica. So this is quite an adventure for us. Driving, the adventure of driving on the left-hand side while my husband sat on the right hand side. It was quite an adjustment, but we made do. Ride from Montego Bay to Mandeville was about 2.5 hours now, and this is taking like the back roads. And when I say back roads, I'm not talking about the back roads in the United States of America kind of back roads. I'm talking about back roads where you don't even know what's around the corner. Like there's a bush, there's a cliff on the other side, and you probably won't see a lot of that footage because I was literally hanging on to the edge of my seat saying a quick prayer because of how like it's like every corner was like seemed like a close call, but that wasn't the case for every part of the journey. Okay guys, so we made it here to Mandeville and we are about to check out my husband's childhood home. Just taking it all in. Oh, somebody's outside.
Outside.
Let's see if they let us check it out. This is the house. This is the yard. Did you say it looks the same or what's different?
Oh,
This is the same.
Yeah. Used to be some trees on the outside.
Used to be trees.
And up there with those flower pots, our mom used to have the rose garden there. They're painting it up nice.
All right, we're able to go into a portion to see how they have updated something. What used to be there? Oh, the helper spot. Little part. Main door over here. Is it open to the kitchen usually?
Yeah. So this door is locked off, right? This is locked.
No, it's not really locked. So it's not Italian.
We had to take a picture. This is a picture that my husband is holding from, like, we're talking 30 plus years ago, the house and the house now, being able to show the girls, which was really the highlight of the trip for us. We also had the wonderful opportunity to meet some of the neighbors that were there when my husband lived there, a neighbor across the street, and then another neighbor that lived down the street, and both of them remembered him very well and were able to share so many great stories, so it was so cool. Then, since we were in the area, my husband wanted to show my daughters, because I had seen it before, where he went to school. So we drove over to Northern Caribbean University, which also has lower grade. And after that, we decided it was time to make our way back to the resort. Because it was a 2.5 hour drive, we wanted to make sure we got back in time before it got dark, because I'm telling you, going around those corners, that would have been a nightmare at night. And so we made the journey back to the resort. We were hungry by then, and we knew that one of our favorite buffets was open. So we were right back in there to get a nice meal. And that's how we ended that day. The next day, however, we were ready to hit the beach. We were ready to have some water going through our toes and experience the sand and the beautiful just resort, be able to walk it a little bit more. And so we were so happy when we got down there and were able to pick out our chairs. Of course, we looked for the shade. It's like, this is what we've been waiting for, this opportunity. And the water was just so beautiful. Later that day, Amara and I decided we wanted to go read our books by the beach. And when we did, we saw this. After we were done watching all of that wedding bliss, we decided to make our way back to our rooms, but thought we'd let you enjoy a little bit of the scenery. Check it out. as I said earlier, we were able to dine at different restaurants, and this particular night we went to a French restaurant. And one thing I loved is that when they would sing happy birthday to people at dinner. After dinner, we were able to enjoy this wonderful magic show. I have to say the guy was pretty good. It was one of the most well-attended shows. I really wish there were like bigger monitors so that people all over the resort could see what was happening. But I thought we had a pretty good view and pretty good show. So the next day, we pretty much became beach and pool bums for most of the trip, which was fine with us because the water was just so relaxing that we found ourselves just making our way right back to that beach, right back to the pool, pretty much every day after that. It became kind of our happy place, and we didn't really think we were big pool people, but I have to say that we may have a change of heart because we spent so much time in that water. I mean, I'm talking about hours and hours, but I mean, there were other things going on. Like Amara participated in like the water aerobics class, which was kind of cool. And I got so tickled because Kato was like, no, I don't want to be forced to do this. And I turn around a few minutes later and I find her and her dad back there doing the exercises as well. It was kind of fun, and she really made it fun. One of the things I was attempting to do while we were there is to try to utilize all the amenities. So I heard that they had a really nice gym. And so one morning I commissioned the family, come on out, let's go to the gym. And walking to the gym, I thought it was very clean, very organized. I mean, the rules were placed out there. You kind of knew what classes were going on. There was something for everyone. Sometimes the resorts or the hotel gyms, have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But to me, anybody could easily duplicate whatever regimen they had back home in this gym. Of course, I chose the treadmill because that was like the path of least resistance. After that, guess where we were? Back to the beach, back to our happy place. Just trying to soak it all in, knowing that our trip was coming to a close. And we even had worship out there together as a family on the Saturday, our Sabbath, and it was really nice. And then we ended up back at the pool because for some reason the pool just became kind of like our resting place. But it was just so beautiful out there, and I think you could probably understand why we wanted to spend a lot of time there. The girls even had a chance to participate in, some of the pool games like the volleyball, which they were doing for quite a while, which I was glad to see them kind of engage with some of the activities. And then I saw people following this guy with this cart, and I'm like, what's happening? Why is everybody following the guy? And I realized that he was selling coconuts. People like the coconut water, so he was selling that for $5. On our last night there, we decided to go to the Asian restaurant and kind of have the chef make something special order for us. And as vegetarians, my girls and I, we had the tofu. My husband had some other, you could have up to 3 proteins. So he had his, and it was kind of cool to watch. I thought it was like going to be hibachi style, but it was kind of cool to watch her do her thing right over there. And before you know it, we had some nice food sitting before us, and it was really good. So the entertainment on the last night we were there was outstanding. Her name is Kimanda, and I just loved her voice. She was singing all the hits, and she was hitting it each time. And before we knew it, 6 days were over just like that. I don't know how it went by so fast. But I could truly say we had a great time, saying goodbye to one of our butlers, and we were back in the van on our way back to the airport. Once again, appreciating great service with that, just kind of taking in Montego Bay and making our way to the airport, checking in. There were a lot of people traveling back. It was pretty crowded in there. But we did get through the lines pretty quickly, and luggage worked out. We got that under that 40 pounds, and we were fine with all our bags this time, and got onto the plane to make our way back to Philadelphia. The Hyatts take Jamaica. 2023 was over, but we had so many great memories, so many things that will last a lifetime for us to talk about and reflect on. And so I definitely recommend the hotel, Hyatt Ziva in Montego Bay. Great service, great hotel. If you're looking for a place to have wonderful memories with your family, this is definitely a place where you should go. Signing out. Until next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. We'll catch you in the next one. Happy traveling.